My dear friends, welcome to Learners Academy. I'm here again, your host Mona Bhatia. Today I'm going to take you to the Mughal era. This poem is a narration of an incident in Akbar's Darbar. Akbar was a great appreciator of art and culture and he always appreciated, felicitated and honored people who were gifted in these fields. Um, so he had many renowned scholars, musicians, painters in his court. This poem in particular is about Tansen, who was one of the nine gem in his court. Without further ado, let's begin with our poem now. Tansen is considered as one of the best singer of all times. We've only heard of his stories. I wish there were some recording systems at that time so we could hear him now and we could enjoy his voice, his singings. Right now we can only imagine. So let's have a look at the poem. Tansen, the singer in Great Akbar's court, won great renown through the Badshahi fort. Tansen, who was a singer in Akbar's court, had earned lots of fame through Badshahi fort, that is King's fort, that is through Akbar. His voice rang like a sound of silver bells, and Akbar ravished heard the story tells. The poet has heard many stories about how Tansen's voice was so sweet, and Akbar used to ravishly enjoy with full pleasure. How the king praised him and gave him many a gem, called him chief jewel in his diadem. So this is poet tells us that Akbar praised his singing so much that he rewarded him many gems. He knew that his value was more than that of any gem, and he used to call him chief jewel in his diadem. Akbar had 9 jewels in his court. So Tansen was one of them, and Akbar wanted to have him in his court because Tansen was more valuable than any other gem. Now, one day, singer sang the song of fire, the Deepak Rag and burning like a pyre. So, what happened one day? Tansen sang the song of fire, which is Deepak Rag, and it is said that one who sings this rag starts burning. So as much the heat is generated by the vibration of the sounds which are produced by this raga, and anyone who sings this rag sincerely with fervor and intensity, he starts burning. So Deepak Rag is the raga of light according to legends. When Tansen sang this rag, it lit all the lamps in the courtyard, and Tansen's body became so hot he was not comfortable. His body started burning, and to cool him, Rag Malhar was sung by Tansen's maiden disciple. We don't know how true are these stories, but we have only heard them by word of mouth. The next line is to cure his burning heart, a maiden came and sang Malhar the song of water cold, till health returned and comfort as of old. To soothe him, his body from burning flames, a maiden sang another Rag Malhar, the song of torrential rain. So Rag Malhar is so powerful that anyone who sings it can induce rainfall, but it has to be sung with full devotion and intensity. Okay, so she sang Rag Malhar to save Tansen's body from burning till he became healthy like before. And next line, uh, mighty thy teacher must be and divine. Great Akbar said, magic indeed is thine. Learned at his feet. Now, after seeing all this, after going through this episode, Akbar was stunned. He told Tansen's uh, he told Tansen that indeed the one who has taught him must be divine. It is indeed his teacher who must be praised or rewarded. It is his magic that Tansen had learned so well. So learning at his feet means by learning from somebody, by surrendering at the feet of your master. All right. Um, giving your 100% to your master. You'll be able to receive 100% when you surrender. That means when you learn at the feet of your master. Alright, now you must always give credits to your teacher when you score good marks, isn't it? So that is why Akbar gave credit to his master. Now the next line, then happy Tansen bowed and said, beyond the world's ignoble crowd, scorning its wealth remote and far away, he dwells within a cave of Himalaya. So Tansen bowed and told Akbar that his master lives far away from worthless people of world. Alright, he has rejected, he shunned all the wealth, and he lives in Himalaya in a cave. Now, could I but see him once, desired the king sit at his feet a while and listening. Akbar asked Tansen if he could meet him just once, and he was eager to listen to his master's out of the world voice, wanted to have that mind-blowing experience. So here I would deny my state and walk in robes of poverty. So he further convinced Tansen that he would deny his stature, means his position, and he would walk to him in normal clothes like a poor man. He would change his kingly attire. So why did he say that? Because Tansen told him that he doesn't like uh, all those wealthy people, and he has shunned all the worldly wealth. So the king decided that he would go to him like a common man. Then said Tansen, as you desire, Huzur, indeed 'twere better as a slave and poor. Tansen agreed to fulfill his king's desire, and told him it would be better if he dresses himself like a poor slave, and his master would rather not sing for kings. Alright, um, because that means that Tansen's master could not have been influenced by any king or any worldly treasures or men of high status. Next line, to come, for he lifted above the things of earth, disdains to sing to earthly kings. He further added that his master is on a different level altogether. He's on a different plane. When someone does lot of meditation, then nothing matters to that person. You know, rich, poor, sadness, happiness, that person treats everything equally. He doesn't differentiate between king or poor. So he's trying to say that his master has transcended all these boundaries, and he refuses to sing for earthly kings. The next line, long was the road, and Akbar as a slave followed Tansen, who rode towards the cave. Um, Tansen took Akbar to Himalayas, high in the mountain, in a cave where his master lived. And he's trying to tell us that it was a long journey, and Akbar was dressed as a slave. High in the mountain, at the singer's feet, they knelt and prayed with supplication sweet. Now once they reached, they knelt and humbly requested his master to sing. In fact, they begged him to sing a song for them. Now, towards thy shrine, lo, we have journeyed long. Holy Master, bless us with thy song. So they told the master that they have traveled a long distance and only to hear him once. They in fact told the master to bless them. So next line, then Ustad, won by their humility, sang songs of peace and high felicity. Ustad, the master, now was melted by the humility of Tansen and Akbar. Akbar, who was disguised as a common man. So now Ustad sang the song of great happiness, that is song of peace. The Malkos Rag all ecstatic rang, till birds and beasts enchanted as he sang, gathered to hear. So the rag that Ustad rendered was Malkos Rag. It captivated each and every creature around there, be it Tansen, be it king, or even birds and beastly animals. They all gathered to hear him. The Rag Malkos actually is a rag of ecstasy, of immense pleasure, and which cannot be described by words. Now, over Akbar's dreaming soul, he felt the waves of heavenly rapture roll. Alright, Akbar felt waves of heavenly rapture, means he felt enchanted, he felt delighted. Akbar felt blissful and he went into a state of trance. Next line, but as he turned to speak his words of praise, Ustad had vanished from his wondering gaze. But before Akbar could come out of his trance and could praise Ustad, Ustad had already vanished. Next line, tell me Tansen, what theme is that holds the soul enchanted and the heart enfolds? Akbar asked Tansen in astonishment about the theme of that composition that his master sang, because it left King Soul in a state of enchantment. He lost connection with the world for some time and he felt very blissful. The next line says, in high delight, and when he knew the name, tell me again, he said, could you the same theme sing to lure my heart to paths untrod? Now, when Tansen told him that it was Rag Malkos, then Akbar requested him if he could also sing the same theme for him. But Tansen told him that he could not. He gives the reason in the last line of the poem, and that's a very important line. He says he will not be able to bring that same effect because he sings to capture the attention of worldly kings, while his Ustad sings to attract the attention of King of Kings, that is God. So through this poem, the poet wants to convey a very simple message, and that message is never work to impress anybody, and do your work wholeheartedly, diligently, sincerely, only to make God happy. That God is supreme, so that means you will work wholeheartedly, you'll give 100%, in fact you will give 1000% to make God happy, which have and you should do your work with full devotion and dedication, and then definitely your work will be beyond comparison. Since you are working for God now, you cannot cheat, right? The word is you cannot cheat. You need to give your full. Alright, that's all about this poem. We'll go to the next topic now. Figures of speech of the poem Tansen. In the third line, you can see the word is highlighted in green, like his voice rang like the sound of silver bells. So there is a use of simile here in this line because of the use of word like. His voice is basically compared to the sound of silver bells, and the word, whenever word like is used, always it is a simile. So the next line, in this line you can see there is a repetition of letter S. The sound S is repeated thrice to bring about the poetic effect. So the figure of speech here is alliteration. Alright, now next, the last line of this poem, of this slide is, I would deny my state and walk in robes of poverty. So this is an example of antithesis. Why? Because robe is usually associated with the kings, but in this line it is used with poverty to show the contrast between two different words and their different meanings. So we'll move on to the next slide. Continuing with the figures of speech of Tansen, in this line you can see they knelt and prayed with supplication sweet. So there is a repetition of letter S here, so the figure of speech is alliteration. Alright, now we come to this line, he felt the waves of heavenly rapture roll. So there is a repetition of letter R, so the figure of speech again is alliteration because the sound of R is repeated twice to bring about the poetic effect. Plus there is one more figure of speech here, and that is hyperbole, or it is called exaggeration. You know why? Because there is an exaggeration, because the poet has used the word heavenly rapture roll. and it is dramatically used to show the extreme condition where Akbar reached. Whereas in the normal sense, Akbar was immensely inspired by Ustad's singing. Alright, now in this line also we have the repetition of letter T. So the figure of speech is again alliteration. Alright, now we come to this green colored line. Could you the same theme sing to lure my heart? Here we have inversion, because the correct prose order has not been used, and the correct prose order should have been, could you sing the same thing to lure my heart? Critical appreciation of the poem Tansen. The title of the poem is Tansen and is a story of a great singer. And this poem is written in appreciation of his singing ability, but the final lines leads to the climax. That is, Tansen is not the best singer because he sings to kings, whereas his teacher, his master, sings to God. Now the next title is Tansen. The poet is Hazrat Inayat Khan, and the rhyme scheme of the poem is the poem is actually a composition of 23 rhyming couplets, and each couplet has a rhyming scheme of AA. The second couplet will have a rhyming scheme BB. So like that. Now figures of speech. So poet has used many figures of speech to beautify the poem, and the first one that I'm going to tell you is tell me Tansen. So letter T is repeated, so there is an alliteration here, and there is one more a line which has got alliteration. He felt the waves of heavenly rapture roll. So rapture roll, R is repeated, so again this is alliteration. Alright, now the next figure of speech that I can find here is antithesis. My state and walk in robes of poverty. In the above line, robes of poverty is an example of antithesis, because as robe is an outer garment, it is worn by kings. So in this sentence it is used with poverty to show the contrast between the two different words and their two different meanings. Alright, the next figure of speech that comes to my mind is, could you the same theme sing to lure my heart? There is an inversion here, so the proper prose order should have been, could you sing the same theme to lure my heart? Now theme or central idea of this poem is, this poem is about famous Indian classical singer Tansen. So this poem highlights the mystical beauty of music and how it can elate one's senses to higher levels. Akbar was enthralled by the divine singing of Tansen, and his master was in more better than Tansen. The last line is the climax of the poem and really make us think. The poet is in this poem is trying to convey that one can reach great heights in any field if we dedicate our work to Supreme Lord and become detached from worldly affair. If we do our work as a service to God, we would do it, will do it in a better way, and we shall achieve excellence in that. So that was the theme of the poem. Now why I like this poem? See, first of all, I like this poem because it is easy to understand, and it is in the format of a story, a narrative which has some element of mysticism and illusion, and this poem motivates me to listen to different ragas. See, I really love to I really love to listen to music, and that's the reason I like this poem, and I want to experience and I want to reach the state of ecstasy as experienced by Akbar. I want to listen to those ragas. I want to see how it feels, and also I'm inspired by um, to write and dedicate all my work to God, so that it is done with full devotion, full efficiency, and without any expectation of any worldly rewards. So that's all about this poem. I hope this poem is clear, and I have a question for you, and that question is send your replies to learnersacademy.classes, or you will get the answer in the YouTube lecture based on poems live by Charlotte Bronte. So if you guys don't know the answer, please watch the next video that I'll be uploading in coming days, and you will get the answer. And my question is, in the end, before Akbar could come out of his trance, the Ustad vanished from his wondering gaze. So my question is, why do you think Ustad vanished? This is the question, and you have to give replies to learnersacademy.classes@gmail.com. Thank you guys. Stay tuned.